Hello guys, Bazooka here. Today I want to show you how to actually beat Hwoarang, and don't worry, this won't be one of those super detailed 100 different solutions, memorize every scenario, let the shit out of it kind of videos. Instead, I'm going to show you a few simple things that universally work against Hwoarang's different stances. This isn't meant to downplay my main character, but he does have significant weaknesses. Easy there, keyboard warriors, don't pop a bane in the comments just yet. This is just about sharing some useful information that might help a few of you Hwoarang haters to deal with him a little better in the future. Because guess what, you can't solve a problem you don't understand, right? So with that being said, let's skyrocket in. As you can see so far in the video, you can step most of the options from left flamingo stance to either side. There's no need to dive deeper into those, they are either occasionally used or part of the unga bunga you so desperately hate. They have zero tracking and you're completely safe to move, so we can save some time. Now there are a few options that track to the left, but they are usually low reward and either minus or zero on block, so they don't really push Hwoarang's game plan any further. As shown here, the 2 and back for 3 options do track to the left, so you might think stepping to the right is the safer choice, but that's exactly where you would be playing into the Hwoarang player's hands. Because down 3-4, which I'm sure you know a little too well, and up forward 4, the big launcher, are his most dangerous options from left flamingo. By stepping left, you shut those options down. And just to complete left flamingo stance, yes, there are moves that are homing or have excellent tracking, like the string examples shown here. But they come with some risk, and that's why you see them being used less often than your grandmother. However, he does have a very solid option in down back 4, which tracks to both sides and gives good frame advantage. I'm sure you're thrilled about that one, right? That's what I thought. He also has the power crush cancel, which helps realign with the opponent while stepping, and he can use a power crush where the second hit has pretty solid tracking. He also has a true homing move in forward 4, which is punishable on block though. And here's the thing. All of these options are punishable, so most Hwoarang players avoid using them unless they're really feeling it, because as you already know, he just wants to spam and keep going. Moving on to right flamingo stance, without a doubt Hwoarang's most dangerous and outrageous stance, but also the one where he really goes all in, so there's definitely counterplay. As you can see in the video so far, there are once again tons of moves in the stance, even key moves, that can be stepped to either side. So to make things easier for yourself, the simple advice is only step left, just like you would do against left flamingo. Or to put it in a simpler way, when either of Hwoarang's legs is in the air, always step left. If you decide to step to the left, there are a few moves that will track in that direction as shown here, but they are actually pseudo-tracking moves, which I'll show later on, have low reward and leave Hwoarang at low advantage or even minus frames on block. They don't really support his overall game plan, and that's why you won't see them being thrown out too often, apart from right flamingo stance back 3, which can be a bit dangerous. Now, stepping right is also good and beats RFS back 3, but it will leave you open to annoying lows like RFS down 4-3, which, as you can see here, can be avoided and hilariously punished if stepped to the left. Same goes for down 3, which does have solid tracking though. And finally, his homing move from RFS is minus 10 on block, meaning you can punish it if you step left into a block. Flappy kicks completely track, that's why you'll often see Hwoarang players throw it out more frequently to stop being stepped. But at that point, they have to start relying on it a lot more, and that leaves them wide open to being ducked and punished for it. And back to the earlier mentioned pseudo-tracking moves, the ones that get thrown out while freestyling the strings, you can actually step these while you're already moving, so it plays right into your favor. So to sum it up nice and easy for ya, when either of Hwoarang's legs is in the air, always step left. Now moving on to a very important topic, and I see this being done wrong all the time. After down 3-4 hits you, don't press anything, just hold back, you don't have time to interrupt, don't rage out, don't power crush, don't activate heat. Even if the first kick whiffs or if you block the entire thing, don't press into it, it's not going to work in your favor. Ducking afterwards is also a bad idea most of the time. If you like to gamble or if you have a solid read, then sure, go for it. But otherwise, don't duck. And don't try to step either, it won't work. Now, as for actually punishing down 3-4 on block, you may know about the power crush follow-up, but down 3-4 is punishable up to 15 frames, so your universal crouch launcher should work. Just know the timing is a little tight. He also has the now infamous flappy kicks follow-up, but your punish will also beat it in timing as long as it is 15 frames or faster. The Hwoarang player has to commit to these follow-up options beforehand. It's not something they can throw out on reaction to your punish attempt. So if they feel the heat, they'll throw these moves out preemptively. If you block it or duck correctly, go ahead and punish them as shown here. Now, if all of that is too risky for you, there is a safer option in backdashing. This is a great way to get out of the situation, especially against flamingo jabs. It also forces the Hwoarang player to cut their strings short. Just know, after down 3-4, in 9 out of 10 situations, the Hwoarang player will continue applying pressure, so after the follow-up, go right back to your game plan, step them to the left and punish them forward. Right foot forward has plenty of moves that can be stepped in either direction as shown here. But let's quickly remind ourselves of what we've already learned. No matter which leg is in the air, you can step Hwoarang to the left and avoid the riskiest stuff he can throw at you. It's a reliable method that works well across the stances, no need to reinvent the wheel at this point. So when it comes to right foot forward, you may have already guessed it, step left. This also beats key moves like just frame skyrocket that he can do from right foot forward as well. Now, there are quick jabs and jab strings that you cannot avoid by stepping left, so you might argue stepping right is a decent option, but let's be honest, if the only risk is getting clipped by a jab or jab strings while dodging almost every real threat he has, that's a trade you can live with. Plus, you force the Hwoarang player to rely more on jabs and highs, and if they get predictable, you can duck and punish them forward. Another big reason to step left, you'll beat moves like down forward 4 or forward 3 that transition into flamingo, so that's really good for you. He also has forward 4-4, which is a big launcher from right foot forward that you absolutely want to avoid getting hit by. And guess what? It has zero tracking to the left. Also keep in mind, he has backlash, a high homing move which you probably know about, and right foot forward down forward 3, which is a mid homing move that you definitely know about, so stepping left into block is a smart and safe bet. And on top of that, stepping left even beats annoying lows like the low high string, so the low mix-up game isn't much of a threat either. To sum it all up, if he's in right foot forward, step to the left, and remember, this is the only stance where Hwoarang has two very strong homing moves. And on to his final stance, if you will, which is his default stance, left foot forward. This one's a bit tricky, because as you can see, many of his small pokes and key moves from the stance can be stepped to the left, but there are still things like down forward 2, which for some reason have some weird tracking, though it only happens rarely. However, he has also several strong moves in left foot forward that track really well, or are simply designed in a way that makes stepping not viable at all. So in general, I would avoid trying to step him when he's in neutral stance left foot forward. The only exception is if he transitions into left foot forward from another stance. And this is just a quick one I see all the time, even top players and pros mess this up to some degree. You've probably seen this throw before. Do not side roll afterwards, you're just giving Hwoarang a free back 3 into yet another nasty wake up situation. Just quickly stand up, keep in mind there is nothing guaranteed after the throw. So there you have it, stepping left is the way to go if you want to shut down Hwoarang's most dangerous launchers, key moves and the floater pressure he loves to rely on. I've already covered the small risks you take while stepping left, and as you've seen, that really works in your favor. Now let me let you in on a little secret. Most Hwoarang players don't actually realize what's happening when you successfully step them. They often have no idea which moves to use to counter your counterplay. However, strong Hwoarang players can adapt on the fly to counterplay, and that's part of what makes him so hard to play effectively at the top level. And last but not least, Rage Art is an absolute nightmare for Hwoarang players. They cannot block in Flamingo and many of them will mash right into it. So make good use of that knowledge and steal some rounds. I hope this video was helpful, and from now on don't let Hwoarang players get away with murder. Make them earn their victory. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.